Quick watch list video for the week of November 14th. Start by going over the long setups. First, we have TNGX. Needs a couple more days of consolidation for it to be a really good setup. It's in the right sector. Market is probably in the midst of a rally. The 20-day has caught up. It's a high ADR name here, almost 10 ADR. So I'm just hoping it gives us a couple more days of sideways for it to be a really good setup. PI, a relatively strong name. It's still holding up after this gap up. Tried to break down, reclaimed here. You can see it's leaving these wicks, so it still has some supply, overhead supply. I'd be looking to day trade this if it breaks over this range. Maybe 115 bucks. My personal favorite setup of the week is ATNM. Had a recent almost 100% breakout here. It's now pulled back and consolidating around the 10-day SMA. If it can go sideways one more day, it would be a 5-star setup to me. I don't know if we're going to get it. It's at 11.65 ADR. I'll probably take it if it breaks out over this range here. You can see the 15-minute chart is getting pretty tight, building higher lows. And all it needs to do is pretty much break out. It reminds me a lot of the recent breakout in RYTM when it broke off from the lows, consolidated. I'm not saying we're going to get a crazy move like this, but it's not inconceivable for this to break out again and retest the highs within a day or two. CAR building a nice flag here in a tight range. Moved up 77% off the lows in a couple weeks. Consolidating, building higher lows. If you can give us a little more sideways and fill out this flag, followed by a breakout, I'll definitely take a breakout over this range. PCVX, another biotech name showing relative strength after a gap up, huge gap up. Now consolidating, letting the 10-day SMA catch up. It's failed a few times to break over this range, and it's hanging out right around this breakout zone. I'm looking to buy this over $45 next week. SI, I opted not to buy this one last week on this big gap down. However, I'm not sure if Bitcoin names are done going down. Bitcoin still seems to be weak. There's still negative news coming out. There's big volume going on here. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's a high ADR name. It moves quickly. Ideally, I'd like for this to gap down again, and I can buy it on the opening range highs. I'm not sure if we'll get the setup, but it's on watch. My short setups that are setting up for next week. First, we have DOCS here, DOCS. It's made a big move up the lows already. It's not ready for a short yet. I'd like to see this one come into $40, $45, have a rejection, and fail for a short. APPS, another crazy move off the lows here, 89% on high volume. It's not inconceivable for this one to, retest this $25 area or the 200-day SMA before having any type of pullback. So in this case, I'm not looking to short it yet, but if it can get into this range here, I'm definitely going to be looking for a short setup this week. OPRX, another weak name here, spiking off the lows on above average volume. Doesn't look like it's ready for a short yet. It could easily just keep grinding, but if it can have a few big days and test this 200-day SMA, maybe it goes up to $30, has some rejection, I'd look for a short so that you can easily get if it goes to $30, you can easily get a 10-20% rejection, which I'm going to look to short. COCO could have some sympathy here with Sell H that has been spiking up and down. This is the one that's still has some relative strength compared to the market, but it's sold off pretty hard, now spiking. I didn't really get an opportunity to buy this one. It was really quick. It's on some relatively high volume here. If this can get up to over $12, around $13 where this area is, you can see there's a lot of overhead supply. I'd look for a mean reversion short on it for a couple points. MGNI is another one that's making a huge move off the lows on big volume. It's already up 100% from its lows on huge volume. It had some earnings news. Overall, still massively weak on the daily. It's trying to get out of this stage 4 downtrend. It's not ready to short yet, even though it's made this huge move, in my opinion. I'd like to see it get to this $15 mark where it had some previous resistance. See how it reacts around there. If it has a gap up and fails intraday, I would short it. You can see that it has some weekly moving averages above here around $15. So ideally it gaps up into there over the next 2-3 days and then has a failure. SEDG is on my secondary watch list here. It's already up, it was up 44% in the last 5 sessions. However, it clearly found support on its range here. Solar is a relatively strong sector. I mean, I would really need to see this one have another gap up, or a big move up over $300, maybe into 320, 310, and then see some failure before shorting it. This could easily pull back. It doesn't mean that it's a setup that I have. That's all for today. You guys can see the market's still weak, trying to rally here. Hopefully we put in a bottom. I'm not sure yet, but if you're enjoying the content, please drop a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to see something in particular in the next video. Thanks.